Have you ever had a day where you felt completely fine, maybe even happy, and then the very next day you wake up feeling empty, anxious, or just off in a way? You can't even explain why. Nothing changed, nothing went wrong, but your mood completely shifted. And now you're left wondering, what is wrong with me? A lot of people experience this, but they rarely talk about it. Instead, they start blaming themselves, thinking they're unstable or dramatic or broken because they can't stay consistent emotionally. But the truth is, mental health doesn't work in a straight line. In this video, I want to explain why your mood can change so quickly, why that doesn't mean you're failing or going backwards. Like I said before, mental health isn't linear. It's not a straight line. One of the biggest misconceptions about mental health is that once you start feeling better, you're supposed to just keep getting better and better every single day. People imagine healing like it's a straight line. I know I've said that a couple times now, but it kind of slowly goes upward. But in reality, it looks more like waves. You have good days, you have bad days, and days where you feel somewhere in between. Even people who have been working on their mental health for years will still have bad days. Progress doesn't erase the possibility of setbacks. It just means that overall you're learning how to handle them better. So when you go from feeling okay one day to feeling terrible the next, it doesn't mean you lost all of your progress. It just means you're experiencing a normal emotional fluctuation that every single human on this earth goes through. Another reason your mood can change so suddenly is because your brain is constantly processing things in the background, even when you might not realize it. Stressful situations, uncomfortable conversations, memories, and worries don't always hit you immediately, but sometimes your mind pushes them aside so that you can keep functioning throughout the day. Then later, when you're alone or your mind is less distracted, all of those emotions come back all at once. And this is why you might feel fine at school or at work or while hanging out with your friends, but then overwhelmed the moment you get home or lie down in bed. It's not that your emotions appeared out of nowhere. It's that your brain finally had the space to feel them. And sometimes that's where the breakdown, or in this case, I'm going to call it an emotional crash, comes from. Most emotional crashes don't come from one huge traumatic event. They come from dozens of small things piling up quietly. Maybe lack of sleep, stress about the future, social pressure, feeling lonely, overthinking conversations, comparing yourself to others online. It could be almost anything. But when they stack up day after day, they create sort of this mental weight that eventually becomes too heavy to ignore. And that's why sometimes you wake up feeling terrible, even though nothing specific happened the day before. Your brain just reached a point where it couldn't keep carrying everything without needing to react anymore. Now that kind of begs the question of, can distractions delay your emotions? Yes, absolutely. When you're busy or scrolling on your phone, talking to people, working out, playing games, whatever it is, again, your brain focuses on what's in front of you. And that focus can temporarily block you from fully feeling what's going on internally. But once those distractions disappear, like when you're alone, in your room or trying to sleep, your mind has nothing left to focus on except your thoughts and your emotions. And that's when everything you've sort of been avoiding or ignoring finally surfaces. This is why a lot of people say nighttime is when their mental health feels the worst. And it's not because the night is bad itself, it's because it's often the first quiet moment that your brain has had all day. And then obviously, it could be hormonal reasons. I mean, mental health isn't just psychological, it could also be biological. Your mood is heavily influenced by things like how much you sleep, how much you eat, your stress hormones, and even your body nature and your chemical balance. There's so many factors. But if you're running on little sleep, your brain struggles to regulate emotions properly. Things that wouldn't normally bother you might suddenly feel overwhelming. You might feel more anxious, more irritable, or more sad without any clear reason. Now, this doesn't mean your feelings are fake or just in your head. It means your brain and your body are connected. And when one is struggling, the other will feel it too. So hopefully, if you've been confused about why you can feel okay one day and terrible the next, I hope what I'm saying makes sense. I want you to understand that this doesn't mean you're unstable or dramatic or broken. It just means you're human. And your mind is responding to stress and thoughts and biology and experiences in ways that aren't always predictable. One bad day doesn't erase the progress that you've made. And one emotional crash doesn't mean that you are set back all the way to the beginning. Healing and mental health are super messy, super uneven, and frustrating and confusing. That doesn't make your progress any less real. And if you're someone who's been beating yourself up for it and not being able to, beating yourself up for not being happy or stable all the time, maybe it's time to stop expecting yourself to feel perfectly fine every day. Because nobody else does. You're allowed to have good days and bad days. You're allowed to feel okay and then feel overwhelmed later. That doesn't make you a bad person or weak or stupid. It makes you someone whose brain is trying to process everything that life throws at. If you're watching this on one of those bad days, just know that this feeling, like every other feeling that you've had before, will eventually pass. Like it always does. Even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. That's all I have for you. Thank you, and stay ruled.